Hello, you noble people. My name is the Noble, and today we're going to be reviewing Marvel Rivals. This is a video that has been in the works for a while now, and I kept constantly having to redo it, basically because I didn't feel like my efforts to actually do a full review were correct. So I decided, why not review it alongside Overwatch? So right now we're going to review both games at what their current state is and what they have planned for moving forward. Because in a live service game, obviously you want to have what the state at the game is right now and what the state is moving forward. Now, we will touch stuff in the past slightly, but Overwatch has kind of a disadvantage in that aspect. So I only kind of want to briefly touch on that subject when we do get to it. But basically, this is going to be me doing objective review of both games. First, starting out with Overwatch because I have more time and gameplay in Overwatch. I have like over 1,000 hours, I think. So I understand Overwatch a little bit better from a gameplay perspective. So first, let's do Overwatch first. Okay, Overwatch, I'll probably keep it very simple. Overwatch, normally, I would probably give a decently high rating. However, unfortunately, Overwatch 2, I'm not going to give that. Overwatch has soured in the time it has aged because it's like aging like milk because it's not building on any of the gameplay aspects that were on the original game. If anything, it's making it weaker. Now, I am one that I like 5v5 if done correctly. The idea where they're trying to limit the amount of character slots and trying to make tanks feel tanky, that's a cool concept. Did they accomplish that? No, they failed horrendously. Tanks in this game either feel like a cardboard box where they get disintegrated instantaneously, or feel like DPS with 700 health. They don't feel balanced. They either feel incredibly underpowered and incredibly overpowered. And characters that I loved, like Doom, just are suck right now. Doom, Reinhardt don't feel correct. They just even the new tank character that they just released, which I'll get to, feels horrible. And the gameplay in itself is fine. Obviously, you have the casual point, King of the Hill situation with points, payload, all of that nonsense. And that's fine. That's the same stuff Marvel Rivals has and is objectively just a fun playstyle. And I do like the characters themselves. The aesthetic of the most of the characters are good. But in the current state of the game, I don't like it right now. Because the current state of the game right now is not fun because it's very obvious that tanks and healers are so hugely necessary, and like most of the DPS don't get the time they need. The healers feel like the Kiriko is a must pick. You gotta pick what tank is meta, or you just can't play. Like, I want to play some Doomfist, but if an enemy has an Orisa, nope, can't play Doomfist. I'm just gonna die. Like, I can't choose who I want to actually play, and you're forced into the meta that the game is designed around because, unfortunately, the devs don't do balance patches all that well, so you're kind of going to be stuck with what characters are the strongest and what characters are the weakest, for a while. Now, in their moving forward with what content they have moving forward, is they do kind of have a kind of roadmap. Every other season, they have stated that we will get a bunch of new maps, possible new modes, and event crossovers. The one that is currently going to be happening soon is the Avatar: The Last Airbender crossover, which I think is fine. They're going to apparently do a Zenyatta Aang skin, which I think will be funny looking, but whatever. I love the Transformers one. I like the One Punch Man one, but I don't really care too much about those ones. However, the problem is every other season we get a new hero. This season, Hazard, the new hero, have released. I'm gonna be completely honest now. No ill will towards the voice actor and everything. I think the voice actor obviously did the best with what the character is. Hazard is the worst possible character design they have done yet. I am so sorry, but I am sorry. You can't. He doesn't look cool. I'll throw up a picture of right now of what he looks like and what his concept art looks like. If they just made the concept art into the actual character, he would be like 10 times better. He looks so cool in the concept art. But then you get the one that just looks like the Needler from like Halo. Like, he doesn't look cool. And not only does he not look cool, he plays like doo-doo butter. He doesn't play good. Like, all of Hazard's kit revolves around abilities that already exist. He has a Mei wall that is like shorter and does some damage. He has a Genji slash that is like okay. He has a climb like Kiriko and Hanzo, which is like okay, and then he has another guard that like 17 different characters have. Like Doomfist has a guard, Ramatra has a guard. So many characters have the exact same like mechanics, and it's just not fun. It like they didn't design a character that's unique. If he was like all around like poison over time damage, that would be cool, but they didn't design him like that. He's just a hodgepodge of a bunch of characters. It's almost like they got like a Mario Kart item box and randomly chose other characters' abilities to slap onto this character. Even his gun feels just like Junker Queen's gun. It's not fun, and if the new characters coming down the line feel like this, I'm not gonna be excited. I want to have characters that feel unique and feel like exciting to use. Now, I will start to go on to the plus side because I have been kind of negative. Is the base gameplay fun? I think the base gameplay of Overwatch obviously still holds up. If you get into some lobbies that are just kind like people are going to play the characters they want to play, mainly quick play classic. Like if you don't get if you just go into a game where people want to play the characters they want to play, it can be decently fun, not insanely sweaty or chaotic. It's just decently fun. Unfortunately, since I have so many hours into the game, it's very rare when I get into lobbies that are going to be like that because I'm going to ready up with everyone who has been playing the game for like 1,000 hours. So it's not the best. So I right now the state of the game is horrible. They like, especially ever since, if you don't know, the old CEO of Blizzard started actually dissing Marvel Rivals and saying it was a copy and paste character like game, which obviously people were making fun of Rivals before then until they realized Rivals has stuff better than Overwatch. But the main thing that was funny is he was trying to say Black Widow is a copy and paste Widowmaker, when in fact Black Widow is an older character than Widowmaker. And Black Widow in the comics uses snipers too. So if anything, Overwatch copied them. So I don't know. I'm not excited for the future of this game, especially with no promises of PvP and stuff. And the worst of all is, I'm gonna be honest, they might turn into the biggest laughing stock I've seen in a while. There are hints that they might be going back to 6v6. And if they go back to 6v6, I will actually fully uninstall the game. I still have the game technically installed. I haven't played it. The gameplay footage you're actually watching is just some random footage I took from online. This is not my gameplay. I don't have like this Magua skin or whatever. But like, I'm just like, the idea that they're going back to what like made Overwatch 1 fun is so stupid, because there are more features in Overwatch 1 than there ever has been in Overwatch 2, and it's kind of sad. So I'm not looking forward to the future of this game, and it's definitely soured so much in like the eyes of not only the general public but me, as someone who has put money into this game multiple times and has been loyal to this game and consistently played it. Suddenly it being like, oh yeah, we don't care, we're just going to try and milk you for as much money as you want, really doesn't feel nice, and I don't like it. However, now, let's actually move on to a game that actually likes its audience Marvel Rivals. So, Marvel Rivals is a 6v6 third person hero shooter. Now, obviously, this game is going to be a little bit better in my mind right now because it hasn't done anything to hurt me right now. But let's actually talk about what the past of the company is, because obviously I talked about how bad the PvE stuff is and how bad stuff was. What does the past of NetBase look like? Well, to be honest, NetBase as a company has always been making like some crappy mobile games from China, so their reputation necessarily isn't the best. But they also haven't blatantly lied to their audience. They're being up forward with people. So that isn't really like the primary concern, I guess, with this. They haven't said, "Oh, we're gonna cancel this game and just say it's the sequel and not do anything with the sequel." But the main thing that they have for content right now is the state of the game good. I would say the state of the game is good. The only problems with the state of the game right now is unfortunately, since everyone is new, everyone's just kind of playing whoever. And while there is a meta, while some characters are very obviously stronger than others, the problem is there's no really role queue, which is one thing Overwatch does have slightly over this game. Basically, anyone can pick anybody, which, yes, is fine. Pick whoever character you want. Like I just said in Overwatch, I like it. I like it when people can pick anybody, but sometimes people are doing it to the extent where they're feeding and refuse to get off the characters, and it's kind of on your job to play healer. As being a support and tank main, I don't really play the damage heroes much, so I feel like I kind of have to do most of the work myself, which doesn't necessarily feel the best all the time. So it's kind of a downside, but a lot of people, especially after I started to get into ranked in this game, because I wanted to get a free skin they allow you to get, which is actually pretty nice. You don't even have to play that lot to get the free skin. I've noticed that my team usually coordinates decently well, which is always nice to see. Now, for the future of the game, they have promised each season is going to be around 3 months. So 3 months or so for each new season, and they're all going to have new content with new maps, new characters, and new cosmetics and stuff like that. Now, the season we're on right now, season 0, is going to be half. So the next season, season 1, will start in early January next year. And we'll have new characters, new map, and all of that stuff. And that's already good. The fact that we're going to be getting new characters each time is going to be so unique. I would show some of the characters that have gotten leaked that we might get next season, but I'm afraid that I might get taken down for that because they've been decently harsh with that, so I won't show it. But some of my favorite characters that I actually put in my list, hint, hint, might be coming, which I'm excited for. And Marvel Rivals does have one thing over Overwatch, and that is they don't necessarily need to design the heroes themselves. Since they're pulling from the Marvel roster, all these heroes have like a base set of abilities and ideas that they can pull from. That being said, that doesn't mean that they have to fully do that. A good example is, I'll give you 2 examples, like from both different ranges. Penny Parker and the Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is super serum, like Iron Man, mechanical arm. That's kind of it. Like, he doesn't really have that much to him. Just, he's usually gonna have a gun, he has a metal arm. So they decided to make his abilities revolve around an arm, with his arm being able to secure kills and refresh his ultimate. Penny Parker is a Spider-Man variant who has a mechanical mech. So they had a lot to play with, so they decided, let's do some spider mines. She places mechanical webs that can tether people and stuff like that. She can tether herself to these webs. And like they're still game designing, but they have the basic concept of this character down. Now, that being said, some character designs aren't the best. Like I said with Hazard, I think Hazard sucks, but some characters in the game aren't the best designed either. A good example is Punisher. I think Punisher really sucks, not as in a gameplay perspective, like he isn't a bad character per se, he's actually decently strong. But the Punisher in comics is usually all about up close and personal fights. Yes, he does use guns, but he doesn't have a turret or like a zip line in the comics or a smoke grenade. He really doesn't have that in the comics, and it just kind of felt like they just had to have the generic soldier character that's easy to play for people to just put into the game, which is kind of a downside, but most other characters feel like their actual self. Some characters have to be toned down. I'm playing Magneto in the clip you're watching, and this is actually my footage. But obviously Magneto has to be toned down because Magneto in the comics and shows are pretty strong, but he still feels fun to play. He has his own moveset that feels unique. Each character in this game feels unique. There are like multiple melee heroes who do close range, but Spider-Man plays completely different than Wolverine. Wolverine is going to play completely different than Iron Fist. Iron Fist is going to be completely different than Black Panther, and the list goes on. You get it. Each character is unique. They're not hodgepodges or mixes up together. And even some of the leaked characters that we have seen where they might be some similar seem to be having their own uniqueness. A good example is people really want Deadpool in the game, but Deadpool might play similar to a different character named Blade, who might be coming in the future. But I can 100% seeing them having each a different type of playstyle. Maybe Deadpool is more uses blade, or Blade uses blades more, and Deadpool uses guns more. Like, they're going to do something to make the characters feel unique. They're not just going to make copy and paste characters because it's easier to do, like Overwatch does. And I'm really excited to see what the future of this game is. One other feature that I didn't talk about is actually how they do cosmetics and sell. Now, the cosmetics in both games are decently standard. Unfortunately, Overwatch does tend to have a bunch of bundles, so they do bundles that are decently expensive. But the thing that is better in Marvel Rivals, you can actually earn the in-game currency simply by playing and doing challenges. And the Battle Pass has no FOMO, which basically means once you purchase the Battle Pass, you can complete it at any time. You're not forced to have to grind for it before the season ends. Like I said, the season 0 is half the time of a normal season, and you can already, like, I'm already like decently halfway through it, but I don't need to. I could just casually play the game and then do the Battle Pass challenges later. The only thing that I would say the Overwatch Battle Pass would have higher than the Marvel Rivals is that Marvel Rivals, you have to do specific challenges to get leveled up in the Battle Pass, where with Overwatch you can just play the game like play a bunch of games and win, and it can give you XP. That is the only thing that I would say that I would want to have in Marvel Rivals. But other than that, I personally think Marvel Rivals is a 10 times improvement than what Overwatch is going on right now. I don't think it will ever be as good as original Overwatch was, because I remember in 2016, me and my friends going off from school, hopping on, playing some games, having fun. I don't know if that like me messing around with Bastion, my friends running around as Winston. Like, I don't know if that's gonna ever come to this game, but I can definitely feel myself pouring a lot of time into that. I'm already playing games with my brother, and we're having a blast. So I love this game. I hope it continues being well. So right now, Marvel Rivals is going to 100% to get a 9.5 out of 10, because I do think there's some things that can improve on it. However, Overwatch, as of right now, they need to get their act up and start delivering quality content for its consumers, because unless they can make it better or something, I can 100% see me never touching this game again, especially if they do something really pathetic. Like I said, if they start going to 6v6 stuff simply because that's what people want, then I'll probably delete the game. Simply because if I wanted 6v6, I'm just going to play Marvel Rivals. Or I want to play Overwatch 1, but Overwatch 1 doesn't exist because Thanos snapped it. So you can get the hint about what game I want to play right now. So I'm going to be doing more Marvel Rivals content in the future. As a matter of fact, my next video that I want to do is actually going to be the Noble Way. This was a thing that I tried to do for Apex, but kind of stopped. It's a little bit easier with Marvel Rivals since they have each character is revolved around abilities, so I can get footage that is easier to use than instead of Apex. Apex, I have to get like good games since it's a battle royale, but it's easier with a game like this where it's team based. So expect Cloak and Dagger sometime soon. I don't know when. I don't want to leave any promises, but I'm excited for that. I'm definitely probably going to do more because I love to learn heroes and learn the ins and outs of them. Comment down below what other characters you want to see. Cloak and Dagger is definitely going to be the first. I'll make a post on my YouTube about what next character would you want to see a guide to next. So thank you so much for watching. Stay noble. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.